Hi, my name is Brian Burjans.
And I'm Rick Betancourt.
Welcome to another episode of Homeownership Heroes, where today we are going to tackle compensating factors.
And I think as a loan officer, mortgage originator, you need to be very creative and understand what and the number of different compensating factors that there really are.
Yeah, and most importantly, what is not a compensating factor.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the first compensating factor that I go to all the time is rental history. I think that, it's very difficult for an underwriter or a lender to say no in a very difficult credit situation. If a veteran can prove, not cash, but if, through checks or third-party VOR, if a veteran can say, hey, listen, I've paid this $1,700 a month rent for the last 24 months, and here's the evidence, and I'm trying to get a home loan for $1,650, but the credit score is a little weak, and there's other factors within that file, it's difficult to say that that veteran is not capable of making a housing debt.
Yeah, especially when the rent and the house, whenever the rental payment is higher than your house payment, because whenever you're showing a decline in payment,
right? I mean, that's
even better.
That's even better. And then I think, as a loan officer, the next one that I go to, because it's important about protecting the veteran's benefit, is employment stability, employment history.
Yep.
Hey, listen, the credit's a little banged up, or there's some the DTI is a little high, but look, he's been at the same job for 15 years, and he's shown pay increases, and he's got a good letter from his employer and of his manager.
Yep.
If those are like a letter from a manager is a great compensating factor, because it talks about the personal approach that this veteran has with his current employer.
Yep. And another thing is assets. So the ability to save is what underwriters like to call it. Showing the ability to save money also helps too, as well.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the veteran is transitioning out. He's been staying with mom. You see this a lot, right? Veteran was renting for 3 years, and all of a sudden goes home and moves home with mom and dad, and to save money. I think it's a great story. It's a great compensating factor. Hey, here's a previous rent history, and he went home and moved home with mom and dad to save up money. And next thing you know, you look at a bank statement, and there's $11,000, $12,000, $13,000 in there. That right there is a very compelling story. And as an underwriter, I think it's very difficult for them to say, "Oh no, that's not a good thing." So that's just the opposite. Yeah.
So what I'd like to talk about is what is not a compensating factor. So I always get, well, he's a good guy.
I think me as a non-veteran, a civilian, I think all veterans are great people. And that's he really deserves it.
Right.
I think there's a lot of unfortunate, extenuating circumstances that we face in our lives, and veterans more than most. But that's definitely not a good compensating factor.
And unfortunately, being a great guy, being on VA disability, being a disabled vet, none of those things unfortunately meet the compensating factor requirements.
No, it's not going to be something that an underwriter is going to take a peek at. I think, not compensating factors, moving around a lot. Commission-based employment with minimal history. Those are
a detractor.
It's a detractor, and it takes away from there's questions there about the borrower's ability to repay, the veteran's ability to repay. So those are some. And we couldn't get into all what are not compensating factors, but I think if you're a loan officer, been doing this a long time, you should be able to kind of deduce for yourself. That's not a good compensating factor, but assets saved up, rental history, strong work history, those are very, very good compensating factors in a VA home loan.
Yep. So, hey, thank you for tuning in. We hope you found some value in what we were talking about in our discussion today. If you have any questions or concerns about any of the topics we covered, please reach us at military@caliberhomeloans.com. I'm Brian Burjans.
And I'm Rick Betancourt. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in.
This is Mortgage News Network.